Welcome back to another episode of Keys to the City. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Josh.
And we are exploring the historic town of Charlestown, Massachusetts.
Now, Charlestown was actually the first English settlement in Massachusetts, and along with that comes a lot of charm, history, and community, which we're going to showcase to you today.
Now, when you first think of Charlestown, you might think Revolutionary War, Battle of Bunker Hill, but there's a whole lot beneath the surface, and we're looking forward to showing it to you today. When it comes to the United States, it practically all started here on Bunker Hill. June 17, 1775, there was the first battle between the British and the colonials, sparking the Revolutionary War.
And in the early 1800s, they built this 221-foot Bunker Hill monument to commemorate that battle. The monument's open to the public and you can climb all the way up to the top, 294 steps for panoramic views of Boston. Now, Monument Square and the immediate area around the Bunker Hill Monument is one of the most prestigious areas to live in Charlestown. However, today, the Gaslight District is a highly desirable neighborhood.
That's right. Now, it gets its name, obviously, from all of the original gas lamps that are lighting up the neighborhood, hallmarked by a mix, which is typical for Charlestown, of older historic wooden clapboard sided housing to brick row houses to bow front row houses. So there really is a diverse amount of property types in this particular neighborhood. You will see more of the wooden clapboard siding homes in this neighborhood than others because this is one of the oldest areas.
Another historic neighborhood in Charlestown is the Charlestown Navy Yard. Now, this Navy Yard was established in 1800 and operated for nearly 175 years. Now, here they built over 200 warships and repaired thousands more.
Now, speaking of warships, we can't not mention the USS Constitution, which is permanently moored as a museum in the Charlestown Navy Yard. Now, this is the world's longest active standing warship, put into service in 1794. She has 52 guns, and if you could imagine being on this gun deck with all of these cannons roaring, just an absolute cacophony of deafening sounds, it must have been something to experience.
Aside from its history and warships, the Charlestown Navy Yard is also a very desirable place to live and also offers many unique property types.
That's right. So what you can typically find here in terms of the associations and buildings are going to be converted industrial, so lofts. Like Paris Landing, there are about 4 larger associations that comprise of almost all of the housing in the Navy Yard. Charlestown can't be mentioned without mentioning the Warren Tavern. In this exact spot right here, the Sons of Liberty used to meet and scheme on how to potentially preserve their independent rights from Britain.
Now, Warren Tavern was established in 1780 and is actually one of the oldest taverns in the United States. Prior to that, the building was actually called Merchant's Coffee House, and this building actually acted as a hospital throughout the Revolutionary War.
In 1775, when Mr. Warren was killed in the Battle of Bunker Hill, the restaurant, the establishment was then changed to become the Warren Tavern. And now it is a local establishment. And so, the Sobel Group coming to you from the Warren Tavern, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All right, Josh, we're hungry, looking to grab something to eat, hang out, maybe grab a beer. Where are we going?
It has to be on Main Street, which is the primary through street of Charlestown, which takes you all the way from the Navy Yard, past the monument and down to Hood Park. And here's where you can find all of Charlestown's beautiful retail and commercial spaces.
We asked the client what was one of their favorite aspects about living in Charlestown, and they said that they love the parks that are available. They're high quality, there are at least half a dozen of them, and the city does a really good job of, creating a community around those amenities.
Another excellent amenity of Charlestown is the transportation access. You can take the Orange Line to Charlestown to either the Bunker Hill stop or the Sullivan Square stop. You also have quick access to 93, and you can just take the bridge right over to mainland Boston. With all of Charlestown's history and charm, there's also a lot of new development. In particular, behind us here at Hood Park, which is a new mixed-use development comprised of residential, commercial, and retail space. And Hood Park was also the original manufacturing site for Hood Dairy, hence the name Hood Park. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Keys to the City. We hope you learned a lot about Charlestown and what the lifestyle is in this beautiful community of Boston.
If you're looking to go even deeper on what type of properties, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, or rent here, we'd love to talk to you, share some additional knowledge of what we have and what's going on in the neighborhood. But again, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We will catch you on the next episode.
See you there.